Never pay retail again. Do you hear me? Never pay retail again. Hi, I'm Annie G, and welcome to my channel where the scents are sweet and the reviews are spicy. It is my job to make sure you are never overspending on anything, let alone perfume. So today I am so excited for this video because I am going to be sharing my top secrets, my top tips for saving money on fragrance, how to find deals, how to shop, when to shop, where to shop, strategies to make sure that you are always getting the best deal, economies in the gutter, while the cost of goods skyrocketing. Even though we love this hobby, like this is such a fun hobby. I love the perfume community. I love the artistry behind perfume. I love everything about it and I love being a part of it, but it is and can feel like a rich people's activity and it can get expensive really fast. So I have tried really hard to find the best ways to make this affordable so that I can still participate without feeling extreme guilt and shame for overspending. So I am super excited to pass these tips on to you. If that sounds good, give this a big thumbs up and subscribe. I'm here for you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays with affordable perfume reviews, tips, all the above. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, the first and most important tip is to cruise Mercari like it's your job. There are tons of people reselling legitimate, authentic, designer, niche, even affordable fragrances on Mercari. Not only is it eco-friendly because we're not throwing perfumes we're not using in the trash, it is also incredibly economically efficient. When department stores overbuy on a fragrance, they will either sell the pallets to liquidators or discount websites, which we'll get to in a little bit, or individual people who have passion and want a side hustle will buy those pallets and resell those fragrances on Mercari. You can kind of tell when you find a page that is doing that because they have a lot of the same scents, a lot of the same fragrances with the same photos posted. So they're buying these at a discount and passing the discounts on to you. And oftentimes you can find unopened, unused perfumes for 50% of retail. Watch out for fakes and knockoffs. Do your research on the brands that you're buying. Brands that I specifically do not buy secondhand or on Mercari are MFK and Parfums de Marly. Those are in Penhaligon's top 3 most counterfeit, knocked off fragrances because they are so popular and they are so easy to dupe. You can look up the batch codes on the bottom if the seller is providing a photo of those, but batch codes can be mimicked, can be faked. They can be looked up by fakers and counterfeiters on the internet. So it's not always 100. Things to look for right here. This piece right here, the atomizer, real fragrances will often have a little plastic one in here, and you'll be able to take this off. A lot of times fakes will have a weird metal like clamped. I don't have a fake fragrance, so I can't really show you, but you'll know when you see. Also, do your research. Reddit is a great place to ask about counterfeit, like people post pictures of fake ones they found. Look at the bottom labels. Nichane doesn't have one for this bottle, at least. Look at the bottom labels of your fragrances versus the ones that people are posting and just, keep an eye out. The reason I love Mercari too is that for every purchase you make, you are paying a buyer's protection fee along with your transaction. So when you buy, the seller sends it to you and you have the opportunity to open, review it, and assess like, okay, is this good? Do I accept this? Is this what I bought? If yes, you accept it and then the seller gets their money. But if not, you can report it and reject it and return it. And because everyone is paying that protection fee, it goes to a pool. So they're 90% of the time able to refund you if you get fake or if you're displeased with your purchase for any reason. I love that. There's also a rating system. So you have to rate before your seller who you bought it from gets their money. So lots of ways that they're holding people accountable. Another thing, if you're reselling on Mercari, save your wrapping from other purchases. So you're not having to pay for a bunch of shipping materials. I save most of my Amazon boxes along with the paper inserts. Anytime I buy a perfume, I save the box just in case I want to resell it. And I save the shipping box that it came in, things like that. Just make it super efficient. And if you're reselling on Mercari, you get a balance on your account so that if you're buying perfumes on Mercari, it just takes it out of that. You can use that balance towards the purchase. So no money's coming in and out of your bank account. So it really is just kind of like trading. So it can feel a lot better not seeing that money go in and out of your bank account. That is the number one way that I've been able to afford this hobby. I think it's amazing. And there's just things you got to look out for. Second way, obviously, try before you buy. Sample, sample, sample. Again, Mercari, you can buy samples on Mercari. When I buy samples from Lucky Scent or Scent Split, those are the two sample sites that I purchase from most of the time. When I buy those scents, I will resell them on Mercari. So trying to get a little bit of money back for the samples that I don't end up using or really liking, you can resell those. But like I said, sample, sample, get decants, try it on your skin so that, especially if it's an expensive perfume, if you buy a sample for $8, you don't like it, you're only out $8 versus 250, especially if then you can sell that sample on Mercari and get $4 for it. We're always trying to recoup funds. So sample, sample, sample. Number 3, discount websites. Like I mentioned earlier, FragranceNet, Joma Shop, Max Aroma always have deals because they too are getting the overstock from department stores and passing the discount on to us, the consumer. They have authentic, you can trust them. They have guaranteed authenticity. They have really good customer service. A lot of times you can return if you're unhappy. Always be looking there first, especially if the fragrance you're looking for is a little bit older. Like some of the really popular MFKs and PDMs, they've been out for 10 years now. You guaranteed you can find those at a discount. Newer, niche, and designer is a little harder to find on a discount, but that's where my next tip comes in of discount codes. Google, ChatGPT, look for discount codes. You'll often find creator discount codes that you didn't know about that you can use to at least get 10% off. You can sign up for the mailing list and then unsubscribe to get 15% off a lot of times, or just random discount codes on the internet for 20% off. Some really good add-ins or extensions are Honey. It's a really good one. It'll automatically apply discount codes when you're checking out. And then Capital One shopping as well. If you're a Capital One user, I don't love putting things on a credit card. I don't really advise that, but it's a resource. And if you're smart about it, it's a good one. So always look for a discount code. And then my last tip, but it is a really important one, is timing your purchases, timing around big holidays where there's typically a large sale, timing seasonally, buying your winter perfumes in the summer and buying your summer perfumes in the winter. That's when you're going to get the biggest discounts on those scents because not most people aren't looking for them at that time. Make your lists during the winter for what you're planning in the winter as you're sampling winter scents. Make your list and save it for the spring, summer to actually purchase for next year so that you can get the biggest discount, especially around in the United States. Government holidays like Labor Day, Memorial Day, there's always a sale. 4th of July sale, there usually is. So I can't emphasize enough how timing can really affect the pricing that you're getting on perfumes. So between all of these tips, there is really no reason that you'd be buying perfumes at full price. There is always some sort of discount you can get. And even if it's not a huge discount, even if it just makes you feel mentally better about purchasing, sometimes that's good enough because the shame that comes with overspending, especially on something that can feel as trivial as perfume, is real, is very real. And in this culture of consumption and people pushing fragrances on us, it's really important to me that I'm at least passing on ways that you can get it affordably and you're not going into debt for perfume. It is just a hobby. If you can't afford a full bottle, get the decant, get the sample, enjoy it. I have like 50 samples that I need to use up. And when I'm like craving a new fragrance, I just go to my sample bin and pull one out, and that's good enough. So Thank you so much. Let me know your money saving tips for perfumes. What has worked for you when you're trying to find a deal or you're on the hunt for a specific perfume but can't afford the full price? Let me know. Start a conversation. I want people to be sharing ideas here because this hobby is really expensive, but it's so fun and I don't want to quit it. And I want more people to be able to participate in artistry and this community because it is so fun. So thank you for watching. Again, subscribe and I'll see you in my next one. Thanks. Bye.